everybody, welcome to High Point. I'm Josh and I'm here at Christian Assembly today, and I have a question for you. Do you have anything that you're passionate about? Anything that you just really love? Well, I hope that you do. I do. It's Star Wars. I'm absolutely passionate about Star Wars. I have been since I was a little kid. Now, there's many times I like to take and pretend that I'm out fighting the Sith, defending the galaxy against all those bad guys. Maybe you have something you're passionate about too. Perhaps it's a toy. Maybe it's a book. Maybe it's a favorite TV show. In any way, what we're passionate about is something that fills our mind. It helps us to focus on it, and we think about it all the time. Oh, with that in mind, I should tell you, I have something else I'm really passionate about. In fact, I'm more passionate about this than I am even about Star Wars. And it can be found right here in this book. That's right, I'm absolutely passionate about Jesus. Because he changed me inside out. He gave me his life so that he could forgive my sins. I love him for that so much. The reason I bring up passion today is we're going to go back to our story. Do you remember who we were talking about? I think his name was Stahl. I'm pretty sure it was Stahl. What? Oh, no, silly me. It was Paul. Absolutely. We've been talking about our friend Paul. But before we get back to him, let's get to the point, shall we? When God changes me on the inside, everyone can see it on the outside. All right, I know you lazy bones are all just sitting out there watching me. Say it with me now. When God changes me on the inside, everyone can see it on the outside. All right, we're going to find out today if the point really is true. Because we're going to see if God can change us on the inside, do people really see it on the outside? Or is it just something that stays in there? Do you think that the point is true? If you do, I want you to nod your head like a bobblehead doll. And if you don't, I want you to shake your head as fast as you can like you're a dog shaking off water. All right, we're going to find out right now. Let's see, when we last left Paul, where were we? Oh, that's right. He had just gotten into a big city called Damascus. He had gotten in there and he had made two really important decisions. Do you remember what they were? Two big changes. All right, if you remember, you can say them with me. He asked Jesus into his heart and asked God to change him inside out. Now, he's in this city of Damascus. And he's just been seen by a man named Ananias. Scales, if you remember, something like scales fell off his eyes. When that happened, something had changed in Paul. Do you remember what mission he had been on before? That's right, he had been on a mission to arrest and throw the people that loved Jesus into jail. Whew. That would not be a lot of fun. In fact, it was so not fun that Ananias, remember, didn't even know if he really wanted to go pray with Paul. He said, I know about this guy. Remember that? Absolutely. So, sometimes, I believe it was probably pretty hard for Paul to even believe it. Believe that God could change him on the inside and make all of that bad stuff go away? Well, at this point now, Paul had a different mission. See, he became passionate about Jesus, just like we're passionate about the things that we love. He went from wanting to throw those people who love Jesus into jail, and now all he wanted to do was tell everybody in the whole world about Jesus. He went from chasing them down to other cities to just telling everybody about Jesus and what he had done. In fact, he spent so much time doing that all around the city that word got around that he was doing it. And if you remember our very first story, we talked about a man named Stephen, and there was a group of guys that didn't like him, and they told lies about him. Well, those same guys didn't go away. That same group started to tell lies about Paul. Isn't that crazy? Paul was there when they were throwing rocks at Stephen until he died. And now they're telling the same kinds of lies about Paul. That's pretty crazy. So what do you think happened next? Come on, let's hear you. What do you guys think happened next? Maybe. I'll tell you what happened. Paul didn't stop. Paul didn't decide, oh no, these guys are telling lies about me. I know how dangerous they are. Nope. He still did exactly what he was doing before and talked to everyone. He went into the synagogues and preached about Jesus. A synagogue's kind of like a church. It's a place where people gather and they get to know God better. And he went in there and started to preach about Jesus. Do you think the people were excited? Or sad? Maybe they were angry? I bet they were shocked. Because I know I would have been shocked. This is somebody who I've heard of in the past, and he was a great devout man, and he had chased all of these Jesus lovers to another city. And here he is saying the same thing they were saying? They were awfully shocked. What do you think that Paul wanted to say to those people? Do you think he wanted to tell them how bad he felt? Do you think maybe he wanted to tell them how no matter what was wrong with him in the past, Jesus had fixed it? You're absolutely right. All he did was keep preaching the message that Jesus had called him to preach. That he did it all over the city. And those men got more angry and they started to tell more lies. And in fact, they decided that maybe they should just kill Paul too. It's a pretty terrible decision, isn't it? But Paul found out that that's what they were planning. God didn't leave him alone. God told him and said, Paul, these guys are going to come and hurt you. You need to get out of the city. But how is he going to get out of this city? See, there's a funny thing about Damascus. It had great big, high, thick walls all the way around it. And those bad people had put guards at the gates to the city so that when Paul tried to leave, they got him. So how is Paul going to get out of this situation? I'm waiting for you guys to tell me. There is an amazing way that Paul got out of this situation. See, he had made brand new friends with the people that he had originally gone to this city to arrest and throw in jail. That's right, those same people that loved Jesus were now Paul's friend. They saw the truth that God had changed Paul inside out. They didn't just hear it. It wasn't just something that Paul said. They saw it in his actions. They saw it in the way he was living his life. And those friends came up with an idea. Now, this idea sounds to me kind of like a fair ride. Probably pretty exciting, but probably pretty scary. See, what they decided they were going to do is they took a basket and they put Paul inside the basket. Now, think of it kind of like a big laundry basket. Not a lot of seat belts and harnesses in there for you to wear. But he got in nonetheless, and then they decided they would lower him in that basket down the wall with a rope. Not a machine, just a bunch of guys holding a rope and letting him down that wall. Sounds kind of terrifying to me, but I just kind of lost my thrill a long time ago. Maybe you think it would be kind of fun. But at any rate, it doesn't matter. Even though the walls surrounded the city and the guards were stationed at the gate, Paul was still able to escape. Because those friends, those people that loved Jesus, now loved Paul too. He was able to get away. And then he went went back to Jerusalem. And when he got to Jerusalem, he was so excited. He just wanted to tell everybody about Jesus. In fact, he went and he saw the people, he found the people who had known Jesus when he was walking on the earth. And he was so excited to get to know them and to meet with them and to tell them all the good things that Jesus had done. And they were a little hesitant. Do you know why they might have been hesitant? That's right. They were a little scared. See, sometimes when somebody's been mean or a bully, and then they have a big change in their life, it can be hard for us to accept that. We might not think it's real. But one man stood up for Paul. His name was Barnabas. And he stood up for Paul, and Paul was able to come into the fellowship of those believers. He was able to be with them and to love Jesus with them. Pretty impressive stuff. The fact is, I think we're going to leave Paul there today, because I want to get back to seeing if we can really show people on the outside if we're changed on the inside. There's a couple of things that that people will notice different when that happens. Do you know what that might be? No, it's not a new haircut, I promise. Mine looks great the way it is. No, it's not new clothes, though this Hawaiian shirt really makes me feel like I should do a dance. No, it's how we act and how we speak. It's the way we talk to other people and the way that we treat them. Paul showed that. He showed the people that they could really see the change that was inside on the outside. So you guys, today I just want to pray with you that as we continue this journey, that you'll ask God to change you inside out. That you would ask God to help you, to show them, to show everybody around you the changes that you've made. Will you pray with me? Dear God, we thank you so much for cleaning us and changing us inside out. We know we could never have done it by ourselves, and we thank you that you have done it. Please help us to not let anyone other than you change us. Let you be the only changing force in our life. We want to be exactly who you created us to be, and we know we can only do that when you're the one that changes us. Help us this week to speak and to act in the ways that you want us to do. In Jesus' name, amen. Well, we've kind of used up all of our time here for today, but I want to encourage you. In the comments section, tell me about what your passions are. Doesn't matter what kinds of things, just tell me all about them. I'm excited to hear them. Thanks again for joining me, and you have a fantastic, blessed week. Bye!